Well. Just part 1 of the RV files that the proud RV who were pretending to be unfazed by any exposés coming out are slowly crumbling. Food is getting more desperate, more hackers and alts are appearing. All RV HRs are getting banned for hacking. People are leaving RV. Astray released his video the day after part 1, and GVB released his video the day after his. And now today, you can guess, I released part 2 a day after GVB, 4 in a row. Everyone, make sure to check out these other two's perspectives. They cover some things that I don't. Like, comment, and share on all our videos to help carry on this movement to finally get RV banned. RV is under full lockdown, threatening to report and get our videos taken down, which is all the more reason why you should support the videos. They're making their own expose of TBE, hoping to expose us. I wish them good luck with trying to find any dirt on us. RV is in such a panic right now. Their initial cope defense about part 1 is so funny. It's like none of them even properly watched the video. Let's go through all the claims right now. They say all the proof only exposes chat for hacking. The images are all cropped and taken out of context. This is not true. I literally already linked the full DMs in multiple different recordings that scrolls through the full context of the DMs. You can check it out for yourself. Food had to convince Chad to start hacking to frame other people for hacks, to get hacks, and ask Chad to buy him and others hacks. You can use the age card all you want. Talk like just because he was your advisor that means you can absolve yourself from all responsibility and push all the blame on him. But at the end of the day, this is your clan that you led, that he was just your member and followed your orders. They always try to act like Shab was the sole perpetrator, except Sam was also convinced by Food to hack. Nattabet was hacking before Food, and Food allowed it, welcomed it in his clan and server. He had to cover for Nattabet multiple times. This is the most pathetic defense ever. Shab is just one person who has been with them for just over a year and a half, and he has all this dirt on Food. Do you think the other people haven't had the exact same experiences of Food manipulating them to do similar things? What, only Shab made Food act out this way? Next claim. Hacks were only planned and used against TBE and were never used, and we have no proof of them hacking in-game. In fact, that's one of the main portions of this video is proof of y'all hacking in-game, but we've managed to finally get all you RVHRs banned for the DMs alone, because they clearly show and log how you're all guilty. You use hacks in X versus NAK, you use hacks against another clan in November 17th, 2024. You tried to use hacks in SGS versus TBE. You most embarrassingly used 5 hackers and 3 spies and sabotages in the SS versus SY war and still lost, and these are the only official wars we have definitive proof of you admitting to hacking in Shaz's DMs with Food alone. They said that I said that RV had 50 clans merged into them. That's nowhere near what I said. In fact, RV said UCN was the one made of 50 clans. You can't even get your own lies straight. I very clearly said all 36 of the clans mentioned before were lost to RV and the allies and merges. They all died after opening partnership relations with RV because all leaders and members eventually just let RV do the work, joined RV, and died out on their own clan identity. They tried to debunk it multiple times, saying how one time JV rallied more than RV. Yeah, I think that's the whole point. JV is dead and retired now because they just had RV. Wasp, Ghost, and Aston all joined JV initially, and they all ended up in RV. Thanks for proving my point, retard. Then they tried to attack the Uzumaki clan to make fun of my point. Now, I didn't think that RV would be so disrespectful as to attack the former clan of their own veteran and former trusted HR and main RV funder Devils, but anything to save their dying reputation, I guess. They've clearly missed my entire point about the number of clans because they still haven't acknowledged the fact that Food named only 20 random clans that nobody's ever heard of before and used that to pretend that UCN had 51 clans. I just did the exact same thing to RV, and in an even fairer way is all. Food asked why shared accounts are a problem. Well, I think if you share accounts with known hackers, people that are banned from TSG for hacks, I think that's a very big problem. They tried to pretend that they never agreed to the no dropping items to slow people down rule in the UCN versus TCL war, except I showed in the video how they were caught with their pants down, secretly editing out the rules bit by bit multiple times. They said I implied that the horsefuckers were hackers because they used the bet bug. I said they were involved in, or at least knew they were hacking, which given Khan's still adamant and lack of surprise defense of Ilovefood and all the RVHRs getting exposed for closet hacking multiple times over the course of the last 2 years, coping that it was all shabs and nothing to do with Food, I'd say I was very much spot on. They asked why I complained about dupes when I was the father of duping. Yes, I founded the very first mass in-game dupe with Bleak, the former leader of TRD, and the second mass in-game dupe with Evade, the famous cross-trader and duper. After the ban wave, when it was made clear that dupes were not allowed, I never duped again. RV still dupes till this day. And then the accusations that TBE framed RV first, and the critiques of why I don't address other clans hacking like SV that fights RV. Everything and the like will be covered in this part 2 or the next parts, however many there may be. It's funny how we predicted all their potential comebacks, even their future attacks against us and their preempts against us, exposing them for harboring pedophiles. But I simply did not have time to edit all the parts of this video in time and was forced to separate it into multiple portions. Anything RV has to say in response to part 1 is debunked simply by actually watching and understanding everything shown for part 1. Again, the Proof of all DMs is in the description below. I encourage anybody to look at the evidence for yourselves and see which side is lying. Now that we've quickly addressed and stomped out all the initial RV cope, we will get back to our regular scheduling. This is Stacks, the fraud SGS leader in a 1v1 with Blackest, blatantly using a no-slow hack to not be slowed while eating. Stacks initially appealed the ban, pretending it was due to a fast flag, which is just as bad as exploding. But Cyber somehow managed to ban him because he thought there was a speedbow bug. There's no bow in sight. He's eating food. He also said most ridiculously that the blatant clip wasn't enough to warrant a ban and that alternative action was taken. What was the alternative action? Oh, he has no obligation to tell you. Okay, what kind of evidence is considered sufficient? Oh, he has no obligation to tell you that either. Stacks was eventually rebanned because Brit and Seabunny somehow managed to convince this guy that Stacks was obviously hacking. Sus Dude advocated for Stacks to be unbanned, and in turn Treasury offered him an alt and a now deleted message. They still haven't learned a thing about protecting blatant hackers. Stacks says he'll be back to TSG soon. I don't think so. Teakspook, aka Darkkiller, who got banned for cross-trading, has immediately begun setting up his new alt and personality called Messi1030_Z. Again, these people waste no time getting on their alts. They try to pretend like it was a whole nother person, but this is a cover-up. He sent no messages in RV, and it's most likely a member of Darkkiller lending him his account. Needs to be banned immediately. This is Cutycat speed hacking and no clipping through players in a raid against Darklord. Speed hacks are very clear. It's not hard to figure out speed-related hacks. Just use your eyes. No one moves like this even after all the speed buffs. He also got banned for 2 weeks because he intentionally used the bug to become immune to bear traps. RV tried to claim it was unintentional, but one of them recorded the whole raid where the literal leader of their kingdom, Ilovefood, using an alt literally tells him to use the bear trap glitch if they know it. We even have a video of him using a fast flag that allows you to jump one stud higher so he can glide infinitely. No, it is not a bug. It is a fast flag hack that Food specifically said they could pretend it was a bug to get away with hacking. We have screenshots of Cutycat openly talking about figuring out how to use Matrix. We could have had a lot more evidence if Food didn't delete the general chat to hide the evidence that Logic had just seen because Cutie accidentally exposed his own hacks in the channel. Cutycat used to record his raids all the time, all the way until last month, which is when he rejoined RV and was given hacks by Food. He also deleted all old videos where he destroyed RV with other clans from his channel. By the way, how did they get away with blatant hacks and raids? By lagging the shit out of the server. He spammed castle towers all over the place to ladder up, which prefabs drastically, and I mean drastically, lags the servers. Far more than anything else in the game, devs really need to fix that. It takes years to break, and 60 ping servers can shoot up to 600 ping, and the laggy movement helps mask their blatant hacks. And then they turn around and blame you for lagging the server. By the way, that banner was yours. Only you guys could have placed all that. Cutie pretended he was quitting TSG recently to avoid being banned and having his reputation hit, and also to potentially play on a new identity and account, because all of RV knows that this video is going to hit him hard. We've been hinting at it for a long time. He and all his alts need to be permabanned. Next shown is Shaz's DMs with Vix, aka Sam, exposing not only how they both knew each other had cheats and regularly did 1v1s with them on train, showing that Sam is also a closet hacker, but we already knew this from the earlier screenshots. This is Sam blatantly aimbotting in this 1v1 against Blackest. His aimbot blatantly logs on the Jambi mid 1v1 against Blackest here. Initially, RV tried to respond by showing Sam's POV of the 1v1, but it only further incriminated him as an aimbotter. He tried to say it wasn't aimbot because he missed the arrows against Jambi. He randomly swings to Jambi's general direction and has to fight the aimbot moving on to Jambi while trying to disable the aimbot so he doesn't hit him. Way to incriminate yourself even more. Eventually, they realized defending this clip was pointless, and they have been trying to wipe the memory that Sam was ever RV Eurodone ever since, because they knew that the evidence of them hacking is so undeniable that they've decided to switch tactics from denying it was hacks to denying that that person was Sam and trying to claim that it was just some random player. This is the lengths that RV will go to keep their hackers. They will muddy up the waters, make everything super complicated and tiring to understand, so that SG mods and admins have an excuse to just throw their arms up in the air and say, nothing's confirmed and there's not enough evidence, so we can't take action. It's all by design. Unfortunately, Mel still had old screenshots of her once, asking him for the alt account and him giving her the password details. Sam also didn't even change the password of the account at the time Mel found the old screenshots, and she was able to get into the first stage of signing in. Her needing to go through 2FA means that the username and password are at least correct. In fact, you might still be able to see for yourself. This is Rudellaufer openly auto-heal hacking on an alt and sharing it on Metal. He was once banned for using fast flags to hack and float around, but was unbanned for some reason. He hopped around clans a lot, but was very openly in RV supporting it until I had to run him out of the community myself. Rest assured, RV condoned and covered it all up before, but now that he's gone, they'll pretend that he was never RV so they don't have to take responsibility for him. He also had another alt called Sea Snails 331 that Food had access to. It was shown in the DMs with chat. All of his alts need to be permabanned. He promised to leave the community forever anyway. He doesn't need these. Nattabet, who introduced Matrix to Food and therefore RV, who blatantly ESP'd in all the raids, as per the DMs, was seen unbanned in a raid call from RV, meaning he not only still plays, contrary to RV lies that he retired and only plays Minecraft now, but that he does so on his main. He needs to be permabanned. This is Ilovefood hacking using an alt account originally meant for PDK Manly to share. It was another one of the accounts shown in Shab's DMs. He turns around and perfectly shoots the recorder immediately right after engaging in a sword clash against another person. Also notice his speed does not change when holding the bow. Yes, there's a bug you can do to achieve this no slow speed that only warrants a month ban, but it's impossible to do the bug and hit your target perfectly this fast after a sword fight. This is blatant hacks. Even fucking Setsuna shared his account with Ilovefood to use. He has access to other people's main accounts of up to 40k Robux. He even says TSG has a gauntlet of alt accounts now. This was back in August 2024. Food also has access to Astray's account as per the DMs. Jack kind of got Astray, who was already a mobile player, to admit he had never had a PC in the first place. Food is almost always hacking on the account, hacking when there's a raid. Remember that Astray knew all about the hacking and scheming and everything on Food, as he was in the Grand Cancel group chat where they discussed their plans, and not only turned a blind eye to the activity, but actively denied the accusations. His account needs to be banned too. Jack also found in his old DMs back in March 2025 with old RVHR newbie that reveal LC once again brought RV members into their official war, this time against RS. Newbie said he used Sam's alt Bestis and Vortex used an alt called Abrac, which Food admitted in prior DMs that Sam the hacker had access to, and therefore the other members and hackers have access to the account. Do I even need to say it? All these accounts need to be banned. But speaking of some bans, everyone still remembers when the horsefucker Khan lied to get TD Daniel banned over his own sword being bugged. The whole situation was so dumb that I made a whole video about it mocking what happened because it was just so ridiculous. Fireball, the Resident RV best SG mod, went wholeheartedly with the narrative that Daniel apparently used a invincibility hack or bug, by the way, which any experienced player and especially an SG mod like Fireball would know that there's no such thing. There wasn't even a hit sound when Khan was swinging at the time, and the idiot had the audacity to say that the only reason TD Daniel got unbanned after thoroughly debunking the accusation was because of incorrect formatting, and that he didn't want TD Daniel to be banned because it would mean he wouldn't have enemies to fight. What a ridiculous lie to save face. You know, don't you think the top one horsefucker in TSG, Khan, would have been able to figure out that this was obviously a bug? I mean, he's a TSG pro, right? Horse fucking takes the most amount of skill, right? Well, you know what, guys? I'm going to reveal the true secrets of horse fucking. Everybody will become a top tier horse fucker in no time. Intermission from the video to a tutorial of how to use horses like a pro in TSG. Okay, guys, so here we're gonna have a tutorial to teach you how to be the best horse fucker on the planet in TSG. All right. So this is what you do. By the way, all these steps are really super sweaty, right? You have to sweat this, by the way. This is very hard to do. Okay, like okay, example, I'll take this out. I'm gonna fuck this up. Okay, now it needs a saddle. Now this is like also very hard. Like you need to do this. Okay, you do this super hard. Oh wait, that's horse armor. See how hard this is? Okay, now you have this super sweaty horse fucker gameplay. This is how you beat top one horse. Okay, now you have the armor. Okay, now you have this. Boom. Now you have the horse. Okay, see how complicated that was? Now this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, we'll go on this bed. I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna turn on clear buildings. Okay, and this is what you're gonna do. This is how you clear everything. You get your healing from the bed. See, very complicated. By the way. Very super complicated. I know you have to pause this video multiple times to figure it out. I know it's as hard as TSG can get. So okay, now we're gonna come here and we're gonna get another super hard thing we need to do. Okay, we're gonna need to switch down there. Okay, I've only done this a couple times. Okay. Now we're gonna do this. We're gonna get the horse. Okay, and then I have this top one view here. Let's see if we pass the black test. Okay, we're gonna eat the food very hard. By the way, very hard. Okay, now it's gonna. I'm gonna sweat this. Only the top one horse fucker can handle this. Okay. Oh my god, this is so hard. This is so hard. Oh. This is so hard. I can't do this. I can't do it. It's so sweaty. Oh my god. What can I do? You're here to watch the top one view here, and of course, the top one of all time knows how to fight on a horse, right? And then I know this is very hard. We're going to press your bow. We're gonna press your bow while on the horse. Okay. We're going to shoot some arrows. Oh, got him. Oh, super hard. Oh, super sweaty gameplay. Okay. Just gonna heal with the horse again. Okay. The reason why we do this, right? The reason why we left click near the horse is it heals the horse. It's very complicated. Very complicated. We're gonna surprise it by going for the kill. Oh. Look at how expertly I left click the wheat to heal my horse. Look at this. Not many people can do this, by the way. So let's just balance it. But only the top horse fuckers can figure out how to balance healing yourself and the horse. So we're gonna do this. Remember that strat I showed you earlier? Look at this resting thing. Alleviating the years of training needed in order to master the horse fucking. Alright, we're gonna go in again. Oh, got him. Okay. Top Horse fucker PvP healing. Okay, again, go for again. Go for again. And yet back up. Oh. The horse is only alive not because the rebirth is overpowered to double the amount, but because I'm so skilled at horse fucking. That's the only reason, okay? It's not because the horse is just inherently OP. It's not because I have the bed bug all the time, but like, I won't reveal it, you know? It's just because I'm a top tier horse. We do this again. Do this. Oh, you're dead. Oh, top 1 black test PvP down. Killed only possible by the top 1 of all time. Fucking hell. Alright, there you have it, guys. That is it for this tutorial of how to horse fuck. We will all become top 1 PvPers, horse PvPers by the end of the video. Thank you guys very much. RV also got ACS leader Frisk false banned for a bug that didn't show him on the screen. Frisk managed to prove himself innocent, but it made no sense nobody realized it was a bug and not a hack. But don't worry, because there are more accusations. Because hacking on their own isn't enough. False banning people using their hacks isn't enough. No, they will even go as far as to frame you for starting it. While I was doing ongoing research on all the hacking and false reporting, Ilovefood straight up came out and accused us of doing a false flag operation, citing one of the very first pieces of evidence I was going over in Shab's DMs that I showed at the start, featuring that armorless hacker impersonating someone called Klaus. That's right, Food is trying to accuse us, or our side, of being the culprits behind that very video he got inspiration from. Initially, he accused the members of Global Coalition of being the original ones forging evidence, to get Super X and others banned, which was apparently the only reason he went with the false reports, also accusing Spica of being the first one to do the false reporting, which once again was the first video Food sends and the original reason he first got Shad to hack. So he accused Spica of being the one that false reported Klaus using this self-made ghost hero alt account and uses that as his backwards justification for framing Balam. There's only a few glaring problems with the story, however. While Food claims they only started doing it because Super X and Food were banned this way, Super X and Food only got banned on March 2025. By the way, this was the real reason they got banned. Meanwhile, Ilovefood was false reporting people since October 14th, 2024, which was the same day he got inspiration from Spica. Yes, Spica was RV at the time. RV and Shab allied with SS on August 11, 2024. Spica is the leader of SS. They remain allied from February 21st, 2025, from February 27th, 2025, all the way until March 5th, 2025, when Spica was kicked out by Shab. So Spica did give Food the idea, as he keeps trying to claim and place the blame on us right now, but nobody in GC or TB at the time had absolutely anything to do with it, and he acted off the actions of his ally on his own to help get people false reported. But that's not all. Not only is hacking not enough, not only is false reporting people using their hacks not enough, not only will they frame you for starting it first, but they will even go so far as to frame themselves to blame you for framing them. This late October, while I was still doing research, Food randomly DMs me with the intent to show a hacker report. Now, the report itself is perfect. The user ear knot, not display, so it can't be faked, is shown flying, air humping in front of the recorder. The recorder scrolls down the entire player list, finds ear knot, who is called Shoryu at the time, remember that, and clicks the profile of ear knot, and everything matches. This is all on the public server. The report apparently goes in, and the mods apparently debated for over 4 hours before deciding not to ban the account. What was the reason if everything about the report made sense? Oh, well, it was too perfect. It was too perfect. The person recording had only 4 minutes of playtime, had no items, and somehow submitted the perfect report. Also, it was a known account. Remember this part too. It was a known account, has everything in game, 10k poison arrows, maxed out everything, friends with mods, 250 rebirths. So it has to be fake somehow. It has to be a trick. Maybe the humping hack was only the hacker's POV. It has to have been Shab somehow. I mean, it was just too perfect. Somebody had to have framed him. I 100% agree. I do agree. Somebody did frame that account. But the question is, who framed that Earnot account? Obviously, Food. The Earnot account is his. Why else would Earnot be in the public server all alone? Clan members, especially leaders, they're almost never all alone doing their own thing in the random public server. That just doesn't happen. They're only ever in publics with other members protecting them or to do something, like public raids or grinding bosses. You are never chilling in publics alone as a clan member, and especially as a clan HR leader, for risk of getting jumped by enemy clans, which they know very well because they are the primary suspects. The recorder had 4 minutes of playtime. It was made for the sole purpose of reporting right there and then. It wasn't scrolling through public servers trying to find Shoryu. It knew exactly what to do and where to be. And the fly humping can't have been a client-sided hack, or wouldn't be actually colliding with the avatar as it was humping him. So why would Food frame himself? Because he wanted to be able to debunk it himself and secure more suspicion and skepticism regarding all hacker reports against him in the future, since he knew at this point that we were gathering evidence to report him and get his alts banned. He even lies while trying to justify it to C-Bunny. He said this guy never played TSG in his life. I went and tried to see if this person had any TSG badges, and I just gave up because in the search results, it already shows him play TSG. He sneaks lies like this that hide in plain sight that are so easily verifiable that you don't even bother to check if it's true or not, just to see what he can get away with. Food has been pretending that Earnot was Cowdouse for a long time. On September 1st, 2025, Food admits Cowdouse, aka Earnot, is him. On September 6th, 2025, Earnot is Food again. On September 7th, add Earnot. The point is he was unbanned mostly because the SG mods knew him and simply didn't believe he was hacking. How should they have known who it was? Well, Food DM'd me on October 27 that recently his alt that was Tester was banned by Cyber after he and the SG mods tried to bring back official factions and clans in TSG. He said 2 SG mods knew that the alt in the Discord was his and said nothing about it because they didn't care, and Cyber banned him as soon as he found out. Cyber mentioned 4 reasons for something. I assume it was for not bringing back clanning. He said that Cyber banning and blocking members from speaking to the devs contributes to the disconnect. That's true, and I take that point more seriously if he wasn't the kingpin behind reasons 2 and 3. So I went and searched for the account that Food said was his alt and got banned by Cyber, and would you go ahead and look at that? Cyber on the very same day banned a person for being an alt after arguing with him about exactly what Food talked about. And can you guess the user? That's right, it's Shoyu. So SG mods knew who Shoyu was, and that's how he got unbanned. The Discord's old name was called Genix, but they knew Shoyu was Genix, or else they wouldn't have just taken his word for it. Because they knew Earnot was a good boy with 10k poison arrows, maxed out everything, friends with mods, and 250 rebirths who would never hack. Now originally, when I asked Topter, he told me that he was reliably told by Kaudas that he was Earnot. So let's do some basic algebra, guys. If we know that F Food equals S Shoyu, S Shoyu equals E Earnot, and C Kaudas equals Earnot, let's do some big brain mathematics here. Food equals Now, Topter originally could not accept this as enough proof until I pulled up all those DMs with Shab from earlier. So yes, Food framed himself to be banned, so he could appeal any future bans of himself easier because the mods will always think that maybe he was framed like last time. And speaking of that, let's move on to the rest of the Simple Games mod stuff. Now, it's no secret we were never on good terms with SG mods, despite how much we tried to appease them. Lord Tachanka back then made our lives trying to stay official living hell. There were admin abuses left and right, bans in Discord and in-game, made it even more satisfying to know that I got him demoted with my video and that he ended up getting banned for the most ridiculous reason there is. The issue is, SG mod hostility persisted towards us long after the reign of Tachanka for absolutely zero reason. They said we condoned toxicity and racism. First of all, Cyber, you said that it was a great achievement. They said we joked about rape, pedophilia, and genocide. Maybe don't be a self-admitted snowflake and start going after the clan that unironically talks about these things. They said we harass other people for our own faults, except they've had to admit to being wrong on literally every single thing I've ever brigaded to them about. You know the duping shit was never said to be against the rules. You once gave me 100k Bluesteel, you and JP, that you knew was duped because you confiscated them for duping, so that you could get that Bluesteel Vizier roll that you could only get if you gave us 100k Bluesteel. So again, don't lie to me. They still haven't banned me for anything legitimate. Tachanka banned me for instigating. I wasn't even talking to him. All he ever did was instigate. And now I have to go through 15 different barriers of entry, like I'm talking to the TSA every time I want to report someone. If they realize it's me, they just ban me, even if I did an actual report and didn't say anything else. Meanwhile, most of the RVs don't seem to have much trouble reporting all these hackers with minimal proof, or even getting out of bans with minimal proof. Again, I bring up what happened early with Cyber and Stacks. Oh, it was just a speed bro. I didn't hack because I swear on my mama. Oh shit, you swear on your mom? Well, you had to be telling the truth. Say no more. Like there's no fucking bow, you retard. You're just eating and running like a fat ass. How are you? Oh my god. They had a main resident SG mod fireball in their server that did their every bidding. He would go out of his way to target TBEs, enemies of RV, for bans. He openly went along with Khan the horse fucker's lie, when TD Daniel got false banned. A guy in October with the display TB_Roman tried to appeal his ban while I was just surfing chat in Simple Games. Cyber asked him to explain why he should be unbanned after the proof, then sends in the most obvious example of him in a boat lagging or glitching ever. This convo was how I found Shoyu, by the way, and you can see he wasn't going 35 speed in water. That's the max speed. The actual speed is incalculable and only shows below that at approximate speed. That was even part of the supposed hacking. The supposed hacking was him teleporting. Boat bugs like this have been around since forever, and while I don't necessarily blame Cyber for not knowing this, and also that the other SG mods caught on quite quickly to realize there was a false ban, you know who I do blame? Who recorded this video to report and get this guy banned? Fireball. He's better and more experienced at the game than all these other mods in the Discord. You want to tell me he had no idea that it was just an honest mistake? And I suppose it was just a coincidence the guy happened to have the TB tag in his display too. This was Simple Games' golden boy, by the way. Only person with more reports than Cyber. Most monitored SG mod because he was in a clan. Yeah, so much for that shit. When the only 2 mod cases I've ever had the misfortune of stumbling across with his opinion involved in it have been the easiest false bans. The same person who supposedly PC checked Cutycat and confirmed he wasn't a hacker. Oh, Exploiter Slayer 3000. Yeah, maybe when your reports are as retarded as this, you get that many fucking cases. The biggest, loudest clan that you fought for was exploiting for years in front of your very eyes, right? Right under your fucking nose. Some fucking Hacker Hunter 9000. What a joke. And there are many examples from this from the other SG mods as well. C-Bunny has been quite good so far recently, but he used to be RV. He thought Rudell's auto-heal fast flag hack was a rebirth. You think of survivalists, and it was nerfed to not do that a long time ago. Food talks about Cherry and Candy multiple times in the DMs. March 6, 2025, he said, Cherry will help report exploiters for RV. On March 7, 2025, he said, we can have SG on our side. Cherry is chill with us. On July 12, 2025, while they were talking about Chase banning accounts, Nattabet never being banned for hacks and duping, Food says that the mod he knows that knows how to dupe is on vacation right now. On August 24, 2025, he's revealed that the tester Candy can grind for you because he grinded for him for free, and that he had up to 20k adamantite. This guy Candy has been talking about owing a debt to RV for years, but I just don't know what debt he could possibly owe TB, considering we've quit the game long since June 27, 2025, and nobody in TB has a Scooby-Doo who this guy is. And guess where he's been the past few days? You're raiding with RV who are blatantly hacking mid-raids? Whatever teleports your boat, I suppose. Now the good news is Cyber has actually started realizing the problems with the SG mod corruption and RV bias recently, or he wouldn't be acknowledging the blatant SG mod corruption within the community. Cyber's approach to try and be fair to the clans ended up being exploited by RV to do some very bad things. The bad news is, Cyber is going to leave us. He's going to retire. I had to rush this video as fast as I could to make sure he sees it before he gets rid of his perms. You're not getting away from this drama that easily, Cyber. You can't possibly have nothing to say after seeing all this information. Are you really just going to leave it all to your 4 admins? Topter, along with the mod C-Bunny, have been the most responsive to our claims so far. I have a great relationship with North. She's great too. I'm not too familiar with the other 2 neutral admins Cyber appointed. I know one of them wasn't particularly fond of us. The other hasn't said anything about us. But even with all 4 CAs, it is still taking a very long time for us to get our reports through. None of them seem to be bothered to check. Yes, I understand people are busy handling other reports, but surely this whole fiasco is much more important. They allowed Azurite, whom I'm funneling reports through because I'm banned in their server, and they ban my alts that only make tickets to report people. They allowed Azurite to make multiple tickets to report these people, but you aren't actually allowed to make multiple tickets. Cyber has ignored my request to get into contact with them. They have ignored our request to add them all into a group chat so that we can report and solve this easier. There's many miscommunications and false unbans. False bans is frustrating a lot of our key members that feel like they've wasted their time gathering all the evidence just to get the wrong report results. Azurite sends him his video as proof to ban all the accounts I mentioned above, and this is Cyber's response. The stacks unban was a mistake caused by me as an individual not being able to identify the exploit. I'm glad that you can acknowledge that it was a mistake. Finally, the issue I have is how I pointed out exactly the problem with your reasoning when you told us that you thought it was just speedboat and you did not listen. We tried to show you that the guy wasn't holding a bow. You said it's insufficient proof. We asked you what would be sufficient proof. You said you're not obligated to tell me. And then you banned my alt from the server. But when Stacks rolled right in and told you it was just a bug, it was just a fast flag, you immediately believed him? How about maybe there isn't bias towards RV? How about maybe there's some bias against us, against TBE members? Since you're always so inclined to not take us seriously at all. We have to make absolutely 0 mistakes, submit perfect evidence. Why is it every time we want you to take action, we have to make such a big deal about it? It's not like we want to harass you all the time, but none of you will listen. I tried to contact you multiple times before we were ever even close to starting the videos, asking to contact you saying this was serious and you're going to have to get involved in this one way or another. And so you might as well get it over with now, and you didn't listen. We submitted our first videos to bring your attention to the matter. We asked you to make a group chat with us so we can handle these tickets and communicate the bans easier. You didn't listen. Cyber, when have I ever lied to you or bothered you for no reason? And do you think I'd be doing this right now for no reason with the amount of evidence piling up? You say Fireball banned even more than you within a single evaluation phase, and just to pick up one mistake makes it disproportional. Cyber, these are the only 2 involved cases I've managed to find since you all hide them, and both times they are one of the most biased, incompetent cases I've ever seen. You say there's log evidence that met your standards for each ban. Well, enlighten me, because TV_Roman's ban was logged and met your standards, or else he wouldn't be banned and wouldn't have had to ask for an unban in the first place. It literally took another SG mods' second glance to notice that that was very clearly not a hack, that it was just lag. I thought it met your standards. Clans will always try to weaponize the report system. No, not all clans, not us. We have never done that. Only RV. Each person I reported couldn't have deserved it more. You say Earnot is a known alt that we just needed sufficient proof for, which this video provides. You knew who he was. What do you mean? What do you mean sufficient proof? I gave you guys sufficient proof earlier. Here's a thought. Maybe don't just take action like you're forced to only when we resort to the nuclear option and have to post a whole expose video about it. Yes, it absolutely is easy to jump jump to negative conclusions about the staff. You're not helping your case. You refuse to be transparent with us, to be communicative with us. We have all the evidence, and you guys are barely online to handle our reports. Cyber, maybe you have no preferences for any clan, but other people absolutely have or have had preferences for other clans, some of which are glaringly obvious. Yes, you guys have limited information. You choose on purpose to have limited information. We are dying to provide you the so very limitless information you keep denying you can have. Some people have been fighting this fight for months, for years. Dozens of clans have fallen victim to these exact issues, and I know why you all act so slowly, because you just don't want to get involved. You don't want to have to deal with the hassle, the drama, the he said, she said. Well, guess what? You're not escaping it. I am telling you, we have definitive proof. Cyber, you need to contact me. You need to take action. The information I have, it is infinitely worse than you could ever even imagine.